Right here to your right of the DJ booth, we have Mr. Charles S. Laloma, who's actually standing right in front of me with this big camera, okay? He is owner and operator of the LDM Show, okay? Right now, as we speak, he is broadcasting live, okay, on radio, okay? And I just want to give you an idea of what some of the places are. We're on YouTube, we're on Livestream, we're on BronxNet, we're on Manhattan Network, is that correct? And if you want to watch this live, you can go to www.theldmshow.com and you can watch it live on the internet as we speak. So ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for the LDM Show. And actually, it's playing on LDM radio, so we want you to know that, okay? So it's on the radio show that this event is broadcasting, okay? But it's the LDM show that's hosting this portion of it, okay? So I'm going to turn some time over to Ada.
Thank you. So we're going to do a little both in English and in Spanish. Como le había mencionado, mi nombre es Ada Basabe Cruz, me pueden decir Ada, o si quieren decir Miss Cruz. Bienvenidos todos. Tenemos varios para compartir y estamos bien grata. Es un deleite para mí que podemos estar aquí. Tenemos aquí varios, si ven aquí a la mano de izquierda, mi mano derecha, tenemos un subasta silencioso, which is a silent auction. So we have, if you haven't visited the table yet, throughout the evening, we're going to ask you to get up, make yourself comfortable, start your bids. There's going to be plenty of items that you will be able to take home for your own personal or for a gift. We have a San Juan book with a domino set and a bottle of Don Q, just to start off with just a few. We have amazing original artwork that's on display by Betty Five, which is by Grace Beniquez. We have a beautiful art piece that's called Art Meet Poetry, and the starting bids will be on the top of the page. So your starting bid will be at, for example, for that one in particular, $150. You write your name down on that silent auction, and then you will proceed. If you have questions, you can ask either myself, Ray, Awilda, and of course Roberto, and the rest of the team, which we will definitely talk about. Tenemos también mesas de exhibición, que son las mesas de recurso también. We love taking selfies, right? We all look so beautiful tonight.
May I add that on that display table, one of my favorite items on there is the little thing that you used to squash the plátanos with, the totones.
Oh, yes.
You remember those? Yes. You gotta come up and check it out.
También hay un... No? To do that, so over here, your selfie station where you can take your photographs, take pictures, send, and post, like, and share, because we like to do that publicly. So people that are not here will say, gosh, I should have driven all the way down to Maryland, right? Like we did this morning. Also, tenemos la mesa de exhibición, como le mencioné, de arte, que está un poquito más atrás, donde está Grace. Grace, if you could wave. All original, one-of-a-kind, handmade, beautiful art. So please visit her table. She has paintings, posters, frames, little box trinkets. On the next table over, tenemos las rifas. Y pueden ver a Naida Beniquez. So Naida, if you could just raise your hand so people could see you.
See Naida for your raffle tickets for those wonderful prizes.
There are baskets included with movies and coloring sets, etc. Y la otra mesa también tenemos la mesa donde está la última mesa atrás, Borinquen Prayer Candles, que es hecho por Inaru Apothecary by Ruth Arias, and it's a mother and daughter run company. We also have Free Gypsy, and we're waiting for our lovely Remedy Celeste. That display table is on that same. So healing stones, holistic healing, and all those wonderful things.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ada. Thank you so much. So we like to get to dinner here shortly, but before we do that, we'd like to go ahead and thank some folks, okay? There's been a lot of people that have pulled together to make this event happen, to make it work. And so what I'd like to do at this time is just to thank the team, okay? Starting out with, and if you're here, if you would please just stand and so we can acknowledge you, okay? Abuelo Peña, who is the Executive Director of Pray for Puerto Rico. Roberto Peña, if you would stand wherever you are, and he's in the back on the phone, it looks like. But Roberto Peña is the president.
FYI, today's his birthday.
And today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Roberto. All right. We have Charlotte Harris, if she would stand. She's the financial consultant for the organization. In the board of directors, we have Grace Beniguez, if she would stand quickly. There you go.
Welcome to the LDM Show. We're here live, listening now on the LDM radio station, and I'm happy to be with my friend right here, Roberto. We're doing all the things for Puerto Rico. Baila con Puerto Rico, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Bailamos por Puerto Rico, presented to you by Pray for Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
The last time I saw you, Charles, we were in the Bronx.
Oh, yes, yes.
We were at a similar event put together by party planners.
Right.
And me and my wife and my son, we started off this effort just, putting T-shirts
Together
and raising money that way to see what little bit we can do.
Right.
And it's kind of just blossomed from then, man.
Yeah, no, I was like, wow, I go for vacation and our season premiere and I find out all this thing is happening. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And now today we're here, the food is smelling good, the people are about to have a lot of fun. You got to feel the belly first,
Right.
Make them spend that money.
Absolutely.
But it's a good thing. Like I was telling people on the radio station, and now I'm telling people that's watching us live here, that all the funds are going to helping Puerto Rico.
Absolutely.
And the thing that I'm happy this is going on, but it's sad at the same time that it's been taking so long to help. Like, what is it that we need to do to help even, further and faster? Like, or is there a way to go faster? Maybe there's not.
There's really not a way to go faster because the infrastructure in Puerto Rico was already so poor before the hurricane hit. Once the hurricane hit, it really caused immense devastation. So more than half of the island is still without power and this and that. But the thing is that when we started, we thought, okay, we'll raise some money, we'll send people, water and supplies, this and that, but it's a lot more than that.
Oh, wow.
Puerto Rico, actually has to be rebuilt from the ground up, which is a big effort. So we went to a summit in Washington, D.C.
Right.
That was held by an organization called Summit Diaspora, and they kind of educated us. They told us that there's a lot of things that has to happen in Puerto Rico. Number one, dealing with the Jones Act, the tax tariffs and all those things. So what we have to do as a community here in the States is that we got to talk to our congressmen, our senators, all our politicians, and let them know that us Boricuas that are here on the mainland, we're U.S. citizens.
And especially hit off the Latin politicians because, all of a sudden they become politicians, they forget the Latin.
Absolutely.
So we got to hit these guys up. And, I know from the Bronx, Ruben Diaz has been trying, Ruben Diaz Jr. has been trying his best to help out. But there are other Latin politicians that forget,
Right.
And we need to remind them. So if you're watching this, once it's a commercial break, go in and hit some politicians and tell them, yo, we need help.
Right, exactly. It's going to take a lot. It's going to be a long while. I mean, Puerto Rico is not going to get back on its feet, in a month or two.
Right.
It's going to be a couple of years, maybe more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what we did as a unit, starting with my family, and then it kind of blossomed to friends and neighbors and our local community.
Right.
They said, okay, what can we really do? So after a lot of research, we said, all right, we need to become a nonprofit organization, we need to do events like this. This being our first event. We need to do things like this so that we can bring awareness, let everybody know that there is an issue, there is a problem.
Right.
The problem in Puerto Rico right now is people don't have roofs on their houses, people don't have food in their refrigerators, people don't have light. People are losing their jobs. So now what's happening is that all these folks are coming to the United States. And there's different people coming to Florida, to New York, to New Jersey, here in Maryland. Some of the states have resources set up. Then there's others that don't have anything whatsoever. So when they come and they go to the state facilities and say, we need help, or we can't help you, go back to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have to get ourselves together and get our resources, get our love and our unity, and be the resources that these people need when they're here. Take care of them while they're here until things in Puerto Rico are well enough for them to go back.
And that is true, like you guys, and if you're listening on the radio, I'm happy for you guys listening on the radio, but get on the phone, like hit up all these people because, Puerto Rico, and put it like this, like I was saying on the show yesterday and this morning, if the Trump guy has looking for all this money to build a wall, and they find some money, that means they can find some money to help states like this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think the problem is that they're forgetting that Puerto Rico and the people that live in Puerto Rico are United States citizens. Even though
not totally, but they are part of United States to help, and they need to get the help.
Yeah, but they have to. They are part of us. Whether you want to call it a state, whether you want to call it a commonwealth, whether you want to call it a territory, those people are our people. You know what I mean? So we can't forget about it. The other thing that came to my mind and to my wife when we were discussing about putting this thing together is, if you look at the world around us, there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of crisis.
Right.
Puerto Rico had its hurricane. Californians are having their fires.
Yeah, that's what
they're having their mudslides. This and
2017 was like like I call it the year of combining together. The Earth has gotten together to fight, the natural disasters, even the terrorists and all that.
Exactly. So the other thing, we call ourselves Pray for Puerto Rico, but we're looking ahead. We want to have our community bonded together. We want to have our resources so that we know who can provide jobs, who can provide housing, who can provide meals, on a snap of a finger. Because what happens if a hurricane hits here? What happens if a mudslide hits here? What happens if, a war or whatever? If a disaster happened in your community, in my community, who are we going to go to?
And it's so funny that you say that, because I always say they wait till something happens so we can learn what to do with it.
Exactly.
No, a hurricane already happened in another place.
Exactly.
Typhoons happen in other places. Things like that. Wouldn't we learn from their mistakes how we can do it? So maybe, they need to go to their community center and say, what do you got planned for natural disasters? Or something like that here.
Well, we're just starting off. This is our first fundraising event. It's definitely not going to be our last. You're going to continue to hear about Pray for Puerto Rico. Tonight is just getting everybody to know that we are in existence. We're establishing ourselves, and what we want to do is we want to make bonds and relationships with other community services, other social, anybody that cares for people. And that's really what it's all about. You gotta have the love in your heart. It's not about religion. It's not about race. It's not about color of skin. It's not about political party. We are all humans. We're all in this together.
And we gotta live on this earth together.
We gotta live on this earth together. So whatever we can do, whether it's Pray for Puerto Rico, whether it's pray for the Jewish community, whether whoever it is, we have to learn how to work with each other, for each other, and help each other.
Now, through the whole thing, we're live on the radio right now, and people watching us on Bronx Net.
Shout out to everybody out there on the radio.
How can they, even if we're off the air, how can they donate or buy products to help for the funding?
Okay, well, like we started off just selling a couple of T-shirts and trying to raise money. After the research and all that, my wife really went in and put together a website. She put the articles of incorporation. We're incorporated now. We are an official nonprofit organization. you can go on to www.prayforpuertorico.org. That is our official website. It has all the information about who we are, what we're trying to accomplish. It has, it's gonna have documentation about this event and any other fundraising events that we do. It's going to have a link to where you can actually make a donation. You can purchase T-shirts. You can purchase hoodies.
And those T-shirts are nice, man.
Yeah,
I like those T-shirts. You know, the logo and everything. So.
Thank you very much. But whatever you can do, and it doesn't necessarily have to be to pray for Puerto Rico. There's a lot of organizations out there that are raising money and that are doing things. Right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise enough funds, and we're going to donate those funds that we collect to Unidos por Puerto Rico, which is a larger, bigger corporation that's already out there on the ground in PR doing good.
So they're in ground zero right now.
Exactly. They're doing the good work. So, you know, you have to work together to make things happen. So it doesn't have to be to us. There's, you know, Ricky Martin has a foundation, Jennifer Lopez, Mark Anthony. You know, it doesn't have to even be the celebrities that are doing it. Look in your community. Go to anybody that you respect, that you think can do that. And donate, because every little bit is going to count. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of years.
Believe me, it's not a one-day thing, but
absolutely,
it's a full-grown fight that everyone needs to get together, and that's why I appreciate that you guys are doing that.
Right.
And us and the LDM show, and you know, we go all around the world. We just went to hey, we're live here. That's why you guys see. Yeah, you guys see people in the camera. We're live, and my workers are just like waiting for the food and not realizing people are passing by. But that's okay. We're live anyway. But you guys, I appreciate you guys doing that. Because we went to the Philippines and we learned a lot of their disasters as well. So it's a lot of things that happen, and it's funny how they have already plans for when they have disasters, and that's what made me start thinking, wait, do we have plans like that? Like, what is something that can happen? You know, and we got to learn from other people that happen already, so we can learn. You know,
it's sad that it took this hurricane to wake my family up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the thing is that once we got that in our head, it's nonstop. Every day we're thinking about, okay, what can we do? How can we, you know, do something to help? And in our research, we've noticed that here in Maryland, there's a few people that have already left Puerto Rico, ended up here because they have family and friends where, you know, hey, my home in PR is damaged. I can't stay there. I need to crash on your sofa. I need to crash in your basement. So now they're here. They're trying to reestablish themselves, but there's no jobs for them. Yeah. There's no social services for them. There's no health care for them. You know, it's really rough. So we have to do whatever we can.
You guys got to keep on that donation. Like I said, if you're listening to us live on the radio, we're not getting off this station until we leave. So we'll be here for like 5-6 hours. I don't really care. And with music from DJ Richard. So we're just going to keep on going and going. And remember to donate as much as possible, $5, $2, whatever you can. You know, we're not asking you to take your whole paycheck and, you know, donate, but donate as much as possible, you know, to help out. And again, I always say, do not donate to the people that are just in the street asking for the money. Go to people like Roberto and, like he said, Mark Anthony and all of them. These are the ones that are established already. So we're going to continue with the music, and then we're going to have a couple more people come in, like your brother, hosting, your wife. You know, we can pick some brains. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are on the chat room, chat up. If you got a couple questions, we're going to be looking at it, and then I'll probably go back to Roberto and ask him if I don't know the answers. So we'll be right back right after this, and enjoy some music right now.
In the meantime, make sure you get yourself a plate of food.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, when I'm on break, I'm going to get me some food. All right. But let's keep it on with some music from DJ Richard. And again, you can go to DJ Richard at www.classyproductions.com and listen to his music and even hire him, since he's been playing some good music. So, but now I think I don't know if y'all guys can hear this, but we're hitting towards the 60s and 70s right now. Yeah. We're going old school.
All right.
So here we go. This is DJ Richard on the LDM Radio.
coming out to support Puerto Rico. So I'm going to dedicate this song to our people. Dedicar esta canción para nuestra gente de Puerto Rico. Que Dios lo bendiga.
Can I get some, like, dead silence, please? First of all, I want to thank everybody that's in the building today. Because when Hurricane Maria devastated the island of Puerto Rico, me, my wife, and my son, who's not here tonight for some reason, we sat around like most of you around the television and watched the videos, saw the pictures of the damage, the destruction, the pain, the suffering that went across the entire island of Puerto Rico. Let me backtrack and give you a little history. Today I turned 55 years old. That's my birthday today. When I was a young kid, Mexico, senior citizen discount. I'm taking any invitations to Denny's, Golden Corral, discounts on me. No, but back to my story. 55 years old today. It wasn't until I was in my late 40s that I stepped foot on the island of Puerto Rico. When I was a kid, my mother and my aunt always used to invite me. Let's go to Puerto Rico. This is happening. We're going on vacation, this and that. And me being from the boogie down Bronx, the concrete jungle, you know, I was like, what am I going to do in Puerto Rico with all those old folks, all those jibaros? I don't want to go. I never wanted to go in my life. So, unfortunately, my mother's aunt took ill, and her dying wish was to see my mother before she passed away. I couldn't let my mother take that trip to Puerto Rico by herself, so for the first time, I got on a plane. I had already traveled around the world to every other place but my island of Puerto Rico. So I get to the island, we go visit my mother's sick aunt, and a couple of days later I had the opportunity to island hop that beautiful, enchanted island. I went to maybe 4 or 5 playas. I went to Piñones. I got up in the morning and ate mangoes off the tree for breakfast. I ate a real alcapurria for the first time in my life. I thought what I was getting down in the boogie down was true, but you got, you know, if you haven't had a alcapurria straight from Puerto Rico, you haven't had alcapurria. But anyway, I got to enjoy the island. I went up on top of mountains and looked down. I was in the beaches. I could see my toes. Even I was knee deep in water and I could see my toes. I was amazed at the beauty of this place. I was regretful that I'd never stepped foot on the island until that moment. So, fast forward a couple of years later, my wife and I went on vacation, and we went to Puerto Rico, we stayed with family, and again, we got to sightsee and take in the beauty of my culture, our culture. And it was, I mean, it's indescribable. Unless you've been there, there's no way for me to sit here and describe how beautiful that experience was. So, at my old age, I made 2 trips to Puerto Rico, and I'm glad that I did because, you know, I got that off my bucket list. I got to step foot on that island. I got to take in where I'm from, where my family's from. You know, I got to see where the richness that's in my blood comes from. Then social media showed me what Hurricane Maria did to that beautiful place, and I was devastated. And I'm sure those of you that were fortunate to be born on that island and you guys saw those images, you had to be just as devastated as I was. So those emotions, those feelings, that pain, that hurt that I felt for those people kind of inspired me, and I was trying to figure out, along with my wife and my son Trey, like, what can we do? And it's kind of hard to go to people and just say, hey man, give me $5, give me $20, we taking a collection for anything, let alone, an island that's, way over there. So we figured, okay, let's do this t-shirt campaign, Pray for Puerto Rico. Got the design, got the t-shirts printed up. We started wearing them, we posted it on social media. Friends, family started seeing what we were doing, and slowly but surely it caught on. As you can see in the slideshow, we got a lot of support that way. But then it became bigger because the story in Puerto Rico was a lot more than saying, okay, let's send a couple of bucks to Puerto Rico, let's get a pallet of water to be distributed. The electrical grid is messed up, the political structure is messed up, jobs, insurance, the doctors, the health system, everything in Puerto Rico was messed up before Maria hit it. And like my wife said earlier, what Hurricane Maria did was shed light onto how bad it was. It's going to be a long, long time before Puerto Rico is on its feet again. So the more we got into this, it became, as you can see, it became more than let's just sell t-shirts for $20 and let's send a check to see if somebody's going to do the right thing with it. We researched, we went to summits, we got online, we got together with other organizations, and come to find out, there's people that have lost their homes, lost the roofs over their heads, have lost their jobs, there's still no electric, there's still no running water, highways are still in devastation. So they're leaving Puerto Rico now, they're coming to the States, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, even here in Maryland, we have several families. But now the state and local governments, they don't have the resources. And they telling these people, you gotta go back. And go back to what? To devastation. So at this moment, I'm standing here and I can't tell you exactly what it is that we're gonna do, but whatever it is, we're gonna make sure that we take every ounce of energy that we have and every resource that we can come up with, and we're gonna try to make that happen for them. So another thing that kind of came to my mind was Puerto Rico had its hurricane, California has its fires, they've had their mudslides, they've had their disasters. If something was to happen right now in Aberdeen, in Edgewood, in Havre de Grace, to that degree, what resources do we have? Do we know where we're going to go for whatever it is that we're going to need at that devastating moment? I think this organization and all you people here and all your friends and all the people that you know, we're the foundation of putting something together that's not only going to help Puerto Rico in their situation, that's not going to help the displaced families that are coming here and are looking for help and getting back on their feet. We need to come together as a unit and say, I got your back, you got my back. If anything happens, I know I can count on you. You know you can count on me. We need to establish that now, because we don't know what can happen in the future, and God forbid it doesn't happen. A couple of weeks ago, I'm in the bathroom, I'm shaving my head, the lights flickered off, maybe 30 seconds. They came back on, no problem. It happened again, another 30 seconds.
The third time it happened, it was probably 45, 50 seconds, close to a minute. And right there, I kind of just looked. I pulled the curtain to the side and I looked through the shade, and it was pitch black in my whole development. And for that 45, 50 seconds, I thought to myself, wow, my people in Puerto Rico have been living like this for the past 100 and, 30-something days? 60-something days? You know, so I just want you guys to, matter of fact, I'm not even going to say that because you guys are aware, you guys are here, so you know the story. But I want you guys to keep on reflecting on that. Think about what they're going through. Think about what you can do to help. Think about the reason you're here, and let's continue to make this organization grow. Let's put ourselves in a position where we can connect with other organizations, not only in Maryland, but in New York, across this whole, beautiful United States. Let's do this. Let's continue to pray for Puerto Rico. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be Puerto Rican. I'm proud that I'm in this building right now with all of you guys. This room right here shows the diversity of what the United States is supposed to be. We got different religions, we got different colors of skin, we got different political backgrounds, aspirations, but we're here together. And we get along, and we can communicate, and we can love one another. Let's spread that so that it goes beyond this room and it spreads out to this country. All right, I'm taking too long. So, I just again want to thank you guys for being here. I love you all. We're going to dance for Puerto Rico tonight. Y'all ready to dance for Puerto Rico? There's still more food. And I know a couple of you guys complaining about, you didn't want to eat too much. But go ahead and eat. And then come right here and get your bachata on. And get your reggaeton on. And get your salsa on. Because we're going to dance. Thank you. I love you. Peace out.
All right. Give it up for Roberto. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can ask everyone, please do me a favor. If you could all please stand to your feet.
So we're going to talk a little bit, right? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're live on the LDM radio station, and we're recording for the LDM show at the moment. And again, we're happy to be here in Maryland, all the way from 3 to 4 hours. A lot of people travel to come down here. Oh, my God, But introduce, you're talking, people like, who's that talking? Yes, and it's great. Like, you and your husband has done something where you probably just said, we'll do something real quick and then we'll get over it. No, it didn't happen that way. Now you have to do it for the rest of your lives. Yes. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. What's that? Oh, there you go. You didn't have it all the way on. So if you guys didn't hear, we'll probably tell the story again.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, you know, when coming back home from trying to go and solicit and let the community know about who we are and what we wanted to do, I came home and I just sat on the table and I said, we're gonna start a nonprofit. Wow. And he looked at me. He's like, what? I said, what was you? He said, let's call it Pray for Puerto Rico. So, and the reason that I did that, you know, is because I realized that, you know what, there's a lot of displaced families that are moving here. In order for us to really do something and help them become self-sufficient, we have to be something. You know, we have to be something, some kind of organization that is legal.
Yeah,
you know?
and good, because it can't get better than that. With Puerto Rico, the logos, everything is perfect.
Yeah, and just to say that I actually did this in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
I went online. I got my EIN number. Mm-hmm. I wrote my articles of incorporation. Mm-hmm. I filed them. I went and did my 501. I wrote my bylaws. I got my board of directors. I made a meeting. Did it all in 2 weeks. Got the website starting. It took me 2 weeks to do the website. I just learned. I'm not, you know. Yeah. So if you go to the website on prayforpuertorico.org, I did that all by myself.
Wow.
So, you know, and the thing is, the reason I did that is because I wanted to get the feeling of everybody's job. You know, because, you know, I do have a team that's going to do everything, but I wanted to feel and understand the job that they have to do. Because like that, if I have to step in, I know what I have to do.
Exactly. I thought I was the only one that think about that. You know, like you seen, I was doing the cameras.
Yeah.
I make sure I know how to do the audio, the engineering, because you never know. And then you can get pointers because you never know when you got to jump in.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
that is good. But in 2 weeks, that's
and
amazing.
I was so proud because I did videos. You got to go on the.
Yeah.
I did that, and I didn't. You know, I always wondered like, how do they do that? I learned it. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I have a regular job.
Right.
Coming home from work, cooking, and then sitting there, working, going to sleep at 3 in the morning, getting up at 5 to go to my job. You know, I did it, but I wasn't gonna stop. And
I tell you, I gotta give you claps for that because that's hands up. That's hands up because to do all that within the 2 weeks.
And you know, I really believe on everything that I do. You know, like I believe in this. I do believe in it, and I'm doing it for a purpose, you know. And you know, and the thing is, like, you know, all proceeds are to benefit Puerto Rico and the families that are here displaced because you know they need help too. And you know, we put in a lot of our own money, but you know, we donated generators and cost us an arm and a leg to mail it to make sure it's there. But we did everything, and it's not about us, you know. It's about, you know, helping, you know. Helping these people.
Yeah, and you know, if you guys were watching before, you got emotional when you were speaking about Puerto Rico. How does something like this really impact you? Like when you're realizing, wow, I'm part of helping, part of doing it. How did you, or you still were like ahs about it?
No, because the thing is that I see so many people. I see artists. I see, you know, even regular people just trying. You know, I seen videos on people in New York, like with thousands of pounds of stuff that they can't even ship out there, you know. And I see that, and like, wow, we all trying to do something, but then it's hard because we don't really have the resources to send everything out there. And it's passionate because, you know, just like my husband said, the lights did go out for a few minutes, and we were devastated, you know. And when that happens, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, these people have been without light, you know, kids, you know, children, and you know, it's funny because, you know, people look at me strange, but I'm also concerned about the prisoners. You know, the prisons, like, has anybody checked on them? You know, and like, so who cares? No, I care. They people. You know what I mean? They people.
Yeah, it happens. Like, when you go to places like that and you come back, you're humble, you know?
Yeah.
I went to the Philippines and I learned a lot. I came back, I was more humble.
Yeah.
You know, like when people were complaining, oh, I don't got a shoes that are going to fit these pants or something like that. I'm like, oh, it's just a phone. I was like, okay, you're worrying about stuff like that, but these people got to worry about where their next plate is coming from. You know, are they coming with water? Are they coming with the light? They got more problems than you matching your pants and your shoes, you know? It helps. Again, just let them know where they can donate, or if they have events that they want to help. You know, like.
Well, if anybody wants to help, and the thing is, like, we want to make a trip to Puerto Rico sometime around May, because, one of the things that we want to do also is that there are communities that the bodegas, the little stores, are gone. And those communities, they only, that was the only resource. They, the elderly people, they walk to the bodega to get their stuff. They can't open it. We would love to go and help them, so we're going to be making a trip like that to see. But we're also helping the families from here. Anybody that has any resources that want to help, go to prayforpuertorico.org, go in and look at our website, see what we're about. If you want to donate. All proceeds are going to benefit, Like I said, we are 501c3. I mean, it's a lot of paperwork, but, we did that. And if you're interested. And then, what I did also, I communicated with all the Spanish organizations, and I partnered with some of them. And some of them, what I did was that I sent them information because I want to partner. I'm not trying to compete with anyone. We're here together to do this.
Yeah, and that's good. Like when I got the mail from Roberto saying, "Oh, I want you to be a part of this," and I was like, "Oh, wow!" And I just got back, like,
yeah.
And I'm like,
he told me that.
I'm like, okay, he was waiting for me to get land or something, but it's great that happened, and I love being a part of it.
Yeah.
And I told him already that we're here for the long run. So every event, everything, we go live with other people because this has to be heard and has to be seen.
Yeah.
I think some people think that it's okay. The news is not covering. Then it must be okay over there. It's not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Just
yeah,
the piece of it. They just forgot about it. But,
that's why I said don't let this be old news because it's not old news.
And not a fake news because it's the real thing.
This is the real thing. This is really, every day somebody dies. Every day somebody dies, and our own family. Their own family.
Yeah, I don't know. I got sad the other time. I was just thinking because my grandmother lives with me and I watch her. And I was like, wow, what about all the grandmothers and grandparents that are out there that don't have their kids that they can't get through?
Yeah. That's what I heard. I heard that there's communities that they have to fly.
And they can't get there. There's bridges still down. There's trees still on the roads. So it's very hard. My sister's there. She came. Lucky she finally got out, and now she's in Texas. But what about the rest?
Yeah.
So you guys got to continue donating. We're here live right now, so you might be hearing a speaker at the same time. I'm not sure if you hear it, but if you do, there's a speaker.
People are very emotional, because we want to be heard. We want to be heard, and not us. We are the voice of Puerto Rico.
Right.
We are the voice. And somos una voz. That's what they say. We are one voice. Together we become one voice, and that's what we are. And in the website, I did find a lot of resources, and I will be putting these resources now.
Right.
It's called Resource Center, and there's a lot more resources going to go on this because I communicated with other organizations that are willing to help, especially with the veterans. There's a lot of resources for veterans.
That was another thing, too, that we have so much things in common. First of all, we're from the South Bronx.
Yeah, we are.
And your father, was it? Or
my
got
father.
Buried? My father just got buried in the same thing. And I have his flag in my house. So, I'm like, these things that people don't know that's happening, they need to open their eyes.
Yeah, they need.
And if you can hear them, everybody's like, one voice,
Puerto Rico.
And it's great.
And the thing is that, it's also the Virgin Islands, like we support everybody, because we have other people that are doing things for the Virgin Islands, and we are supporting them too.
Oh, yes. Yes. As we hear, everyone else is watching, we're going to be cutting off, but we're going to be also bringing more people on to talk to them. And then we're going to be talking to the people in the audience as well, see what they think.
Yes, please. There's people here that are here because they have relatives that have experience. They got good stories,
Oh yeah, and we're gonna be saying if you're gonna see normal people saying what they really believe, So we're gonna keep on going. And if you guys are watching pre-recorded, there's still time. You still can go on and donate as much as possible. Go to the LDMshow.com. Their information on the side to their link. So if you can't find their link, it'll go straight to their links.
Yeah, and you could donate. There's a lot of different ways to donate on there, and then like just like some of the silent auctions.
Yes.
Whatever doesn't sell tonight, we will put it up there. Anybody's willing.
Oh yeah. See, look at that.
And actually, a friend of mine just came in and gave us 4 trips. So they're gonna announce it too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go up. But when we come back, we're gonna be talking to more of the audience and everything like that. But for now, let's enjoy some of DJ Robert's playing over here. Richard. Sorry, DJ Richard was just picking on some.
Great DJ.
Your brother-in-law is hosting, and everything. But they're giving out some gifts, I guess, some door prizes now. So that's amazing. So far they gave out dominoes.
Yeah, the dominoes.
You can't be a Puerto Rican without dominoes.
Yeah.
I was like, and that was another thing too. It's like, if you really believe in Puerto Rico, you see the old people sitting down, jugando domino. Back in the days, it was Budweiser, stuff like that.
Schaefer.
Sitting down, and my grandpa, mira, no me molesta. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Yes, and these things make me think, and and learn your history. Learn your history, people, because I've been questioning a lot of people about their history.
And not only learn your history, United Nations. I've been studying the 30 civil rights, human rights.
Mm-hmm.
They need to learn that.
Yes.
It's amazing how much are being broken right now.
That's slavery, all that. A lot of people don't believe we were slaves. You got to listen up.
Oh yes.
Who drove the Columbus boats? Think about that.
Yeah.
But we're going to be, I guess we're going to go right now to the winners and stuff like that. And when we be back, we're going to be back with some more of the audience. So this is the LDM show. And if you guys are listening right now on the LDM radio, come on and donate any much. And you guys read down here and donate.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. They get more luck than I do. So we're going to go walk around, talk to some people. So you're going to follow me, right? All right. So we're going to come down here. And in Puerto Rico, look. Thank you very much. Back to dancing. Look. Wait, can I bother her for a little bit? Because she's so beautiful. I had to come over here. This is what we're fighting for, our generation. So you guys are listening, donate. We're trying to reach a certain amount for the LDM radio. So you got to donate. I'm going to come over here. Can we bother you for a minute here? We're live on the radio and everything. Oh, you just got caught playing some games over there. Okay. But how does it feel to be here today?
Oh, it's fantastic. Anything to support Puerto Rico. It's a shame what is happening. This is not our country. This is not how we act, ignoring people who are in need. Americans always show up. And this is a small thing that I can do, and I'm happy to do it.
Wow, that is something small, but it's big. So keep on supporting, keep on donating. Thank you. We're going to come over here real quick. Hi, how we doing?
I'm doing good.
What's your name?
My name is Stephanie Beniquez.
I'm Stephanie. How does it feel like, you're being here, you're getting ready for the win? You got your winning ticket? Oh, she's like, yes, I do. I got my winning ticket.
Yes, I do. I'm ready to win.
So, tell the world what you think about what's going on in Puerto Rico, and how do you feel about it?
Touch with the news, and sister-in-law Wilda Beniquez, and I think they need to do more. More help needs to be sent over there, and it's all about caring. Yeah, that's right. And if you don't have any caring in your heart, something's wrong.
Oh my God, I like that one. You don't have care in your heart, something's wrong. You got to start caring and doing things for Puerto Rico. Thank you. Thank you. And we got Roberto on the other side right there talking to his family and friends. But we're gonna come around. Matter of fact, since you're talking to Roberto right now and we're on live on the radio, how does it feel to be here today and doing all this for this guy and for Puerto Rico?
So happy. Yeah, I'm so proud.
¿Quiere decirlo en español? Puede decirlo en español. Si quieres decirlo en inglés, decirlo en inglés. Que Japón, que sea, pero diga a la Puerto Rico que cuánto tú lo quieres. Let Puerto Rico know how much you feel about them.
Ay, muy orgullosa de ser puertorriqueña. ¿Qué te puedo decir? No sé.
Bien. Porque I gotta come over here because y'all guys are holding the wall up como se va a caer.
Yeah, I got one thing. Here, look at the back of my
And some people spend their whole lives trying to be awesome. Others born in Puerto Rico. In other words, we're awesome.
That's right, we are awesome.
You know, but let the people know, how do you feel about events like this, and what do you think about Puerto Rico?
Well, I'm from Brooklyn, so my parents are from Puerto Rico, from Ponce.
Right.
So seeing the tragedy that happened in Puerto Rico is sad. What's even more sad is that the federal government can't go out there and produce and give our people the kind of funding that we need to go ahead and be, back on our feet again. So it's sad, but I love these events. I'm also a DJ. We're going to continue doing this.
What's your DJ name?
Right For You Entertainment. My name is DJ Juice. This is my partner, Larry.
I'm Larry.
I said we're going to do a lot of charity events, and we're going to continue raising money for Puerto Rico, because that's where we belong.
Hey, we're from the Bronx, Brooklyn. We're next door, but the whole thing is you got to donate and help. And I like how you say the government, they got money to build the wall. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I just said it, and pisses me off that you guys do not want.
Hey, this is Charles Laloma.
And your girl, Emma Garcia.
And you can watch us at the LDMshow.com,
YouTube,
Facebook,
and Instagram.
And everywhere else.
And women are better.
No, see, you jumped in. Learn how the men are better at this in the LDM Show.
No, women are better than the LDM Show.
Yeah, just watch us, LDMshow.com, every Thursday from 6 to 8. And then also listen to us on the LDM.
Got me, he's good.